Right, we should be live. Should be live. Good morning, good morning. Looking pretty cold this morning. Good morning, sir. You're doing well. Yeah, looking like a slow start today. Good to be back at it, though. You didn't take the short? I mean, I wouldn't blame you for not taking it, if I'm being honest. Man, that thing really just completely crashed down, huh? Yeah, from 1460 down to 12. Yeah, I don't blame you for not taking it though. It's with that kind of stuff, you really don't know how high it could go. Okay, ATHA popping up for me. Looks like we actually have something. Okay. Very low float. We got 94,000. So we popped up on non-existent volume. 94,000 on the next candle. Now it says executive license to Laxophony. However you say that. Phase 3 development. Financing of up to 236 million. So this could be something. Really depends on how the financing was done. So this could be a real catalyst. Having good volume. Much higher volume than this initial push down. Got a bit of a spread. Probably want quarter size for this. Good, good. We're at quarter already. Good morning, boss. Boss. All right, you're short at 950 or 592, huh? I mean, I don't know. This could be strong. This volume profile is actually pretty decent. Yeah. It's a nice surge there from 650 to 7. It's a big volume coming in though on that push down. Actually gonna get in here. Quarter size only. See if we can reclaim 7. Despite the high volume, that push down wasn't very hard. Yeah, but we're kind of struggling at 7. Really want to see 7 break here. Okay, 7 breaking again. Not by much. Seeing a bid show up on the level 2, though. Gives me some confidence. See if we can have this thing pull away. Struggling at 715. And rejects back below 7. Yeah, this 7 level's very hard to hold. It's... anytime it's breaking, it's getting pushed back. And are we just rejecting off of this now? Broke through 70. Light volume, though. I actually like this. I'm gonna add here to half size. Yeah, that break on light volume is actually bullish. I like this. Alright. Took half off. Basically back to quarter size. And it's really just struggling to break through and hold above 7. Yeah, I don't think I add on the second attempt of breaking down. Still not invalidated, but it's not quite as strong as the initial fake out. The thing is, this, if this does break, this could easily just pop straight to 750, 780. But I'm getting worried that the seller could be too strong. Right, we are a bit extended here too. Buenos dias, Capitan. Good morning, sir. Sorry for not looking at the chat. I'm just focusing on this right now. I'm gonna cut it there. I'm seeing red on the tape. I've given it enough time. Didn't get the resolution I was looking for there. Very interesting that this would trade sideways this long. You enjoyed my bot video? I appreciate it. Took a good while to make that video. And I really had fun with it too. It's really fun just creating a program and trying to get the bots to not break. Right? Really good coding practice for me. Looks like a buyout chart. It does kind of. You're actually not wrong about that, but I'm not really so sure it is like that. Right, there was a lot of pressure here. Right, and what was this? This was a financing deal. Still, nice little base hit. Unfortunate we couldn't break and hold above 7. I mean, I gave this plenty of time. I gave it like 7 minutes or something. Maybe not 7. I gave it 6 minutes, yeah. Even a calculator. I'm not gonna do it in my head. Let's see. $73. $87.5. Yeah, it was a base hit. There was a point where I could have sold when it was up at around 715s. But like I said, I was really looking for this to pull away on, like we were seeing how this is extending. I was really looking for this to pull away to 750 or 780. I gave it 6 minutes. Realistically, if it's churning like this long, there could actually just be a hidden seller here. At this point, I was starting to lose faith. Do you have a background in development? No. So I've made a couple games, very, very simple games, like, you know, like the snake game or like a clicker game. I've made a couple of them in the past, but I'm wanting to get into working with coding and AI more. So that's one thing I'm studying and on the side in the back. So yeah, it's good practice. It wasn't a super complicated program either. Only a couple hundred lines of code. But yeah, I might do some more stuff like that in the future, just because, like I said, it's really good practice. I had fun doing it. If you guys haven't seen the video too, go check it out. It's the most recent video on the channel. You can check it out after the stream. Yeah, I spent like probably 8 or 9 hours on it. A lot of it was just for research and building the program. Yeah, and this is just kind of trending down here. We're not really seeing it break away too much. But yeah, if you guys are liking the stream, please do leave a like. Help get this out to more people. If you didn't hear, I did mention on the Discord and on my latest recap video that I wasn't going to be on for Wednesday. I was busy. So My apologies for not being here yesterday, but couldn't be helped. Okay. Yeah, this really is just kind of trending down. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's just a private placement financing thing. It doesn't really look like a buyout, but I understand what you mean by how this is kind of... It basically went straight up and is holding around here. Is it going up to $7? Well, I mean, it finally did here. Took almost 10 minutes, though. Yeah, I mean, realistically, I wouldn't have held this whole thing. This looks too much like there's a big seller at 7 to me. Very weird, too. We saw increasing volume here, and it just didn't move. Very interesting. Guess I can go ahead and clear these. These were the old tickers from Tuesday. Yeah, this is the only thing really on watch at the moment, but I'm a bit iffy to get involved after this sideways action for 10 minutes. What trading platform you guys using? I mean, I'm using Lightspeed and Thinkorswim, if you don't already see that. But, yeah. Using Lightspeed for execution, Thinkorswim for charting. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this. Like, to me, it feels like it's out of the range of an opportunity. I feel like it's a 50-50 to me if this is going up or down from here. Not resolving cleanly basically ruins my interest. And I gave it so much time too, right? I got in at a decent price on this micro pullback. 670s, 6.7. And and yeah, I held it. When I saw this breakdown was on light volume, I was willing to add because it looked strong. But then seeing it not break back above 7 and hold spooked me out. Sold half. Waited a few more minutes. Still not breaking above 7. Yeah, this was very frustrating. DJ team might be curling. Maybe, right? We've definitely based out on DJT. Could also be a dead cat bounce. A bit hard to say. Yeah, no, I'm not really interested in trading it. Float's way too high. Yeah, I'm probably just a spectator at this point on ATHA. I don't see an edge with it. ATHA, easy to borrow, shorted 20 shares to test how it goes. For 75. There you go. I mean, to be fair, right, it has moved quite a lot. Right, we're up like 60%. And it did it very, very quickly, too. Right, we had this move up 60% within 5 minutes. So the move was very fast, and I'm assuming he means profit, right? Like, if you went short 475, like, that's not even really possible here. Unless you, like, shorted on the bid. I'm assuming means he made 475? Yeah, now I'm not regretting taking profit at all, right? I sold up at around 7. Yeah, you made 4%. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. Yeah. With only 20 shares. But no, I mean, it's good, right? Anything you can make money on is good. As long as you do it right. Yeah, there's just nothing else right now. Now, good volume on ATHA, though, right? For a stock that only has 3 million, 4 million shares, getting 200,000 volume minutes, pretty good. I'm definitely not ruling this out to curl back here. By the end of the year, this entire chat is just going to be converted. Flip-flops just getting us one by one, converting us into short sellers. No, like I said, I've definitely not ruled it out. Mainly just because the volume's really high. We do have a clear catalyst. This initial setup looked very strong, right? I mean, just looking at it from back here, this really just looked like it was going to pop, right? We pull back to 670. It looks like we're basing out. I see like a 10,000 share buyer show up on the bid. I'm like, okay, this could be the bounce. Get in. And yeah, just the resolution through 7 was just so poor. Without a doubt, there was somebody selling above 7. Without a doubt. And whenever it was failing to hold above 7, it's clear there was somebody selling at 7. Because it wasn't breaking and holding above 7 after that point. Relative volume is not much, though. Well, I don't know where you're getting that from. I mean, I'm just looking at... You just look at the volume here. You can see that the relative volume is magnitudes above the normal volume. I'm not sure where you're getting that from. Like, even at an eye glance, this is not regular volume. Yeah, guess we're just waiting for the half hour, see if we get anything new here. I'm curious if I'm going to end the week red or not. I'm still down like $15, so I'm pretty close. I could still go green on the week, but it's looking iffy. I don't want to force trades either. Doesn't help that I took Wednesday off either, removing variance. Get calm trade. Second 1 minute candle really deterred me from liking ATHA. Huge topping tail. I don't give too much credibility to this topping tail just before I read the rest of yours, only because the volume on this was very low and we saw higher volume on the push back up. So this higher volume pushing back up invalidated this topping tail for me. I was willing to trust it because the volume was low. We saw high volume on the breakout. So this actually didn't affect me negatively. Thought about the break of 650 on the 10 second. I think you're right with the hidden seller at 7. Oh, absolutely. There's a hidden seller at 10 or a 7. Absolutely. Yeah. Relative volume script for Thinkorswim. Volume equals average volume. No, I get all that. But I'm just saying, like, regardless of what you're plugging in to get that output, I mean, just a single glance, you can see that this volume from pre-market and this volume from regular trading hours, like the black is market hours, the gray is after hours. You can see that this volume is like, it's not even, there's nothing to compare. So whatever your function is, now I've done scripts on Thinkorswim before, but whatever you're plugging in there for, something's going wrong with it. I don't know if it's a custom one you made or whatever, but... No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, just looking at the open hours versus the after hours, it's very clear. I'm not trying to call you out either. I'm just saying that what you're saying is definitely incorrect. Like, there's no debate. How am I checking float? So I'm actually not getting exact float figures. I'm looking at the shares outstanding from Thinkorswim and Lightspeed, and then I'm looking at how the stock trades to determine float. So for example, for ATHA, both Thinkorswim and Lightspeed are saying 3.9 million shares outstanding, and then I'm looking at the price action and judging how accurate that figure is. I'm always hesitant to just blindly trust what it says, because a lot of times you can have reverse splits that reduce share price, or the share count, and you also have factors like how many shares are actually locked up, was there dilution recently. There's a lot of factors that can make the float different than the shares outstanding in both a positive and negative way. So I just use them as kind of like a baseline, and then I decide, okay, what is the price actually doing? And then I judge it from there. Your daily relative volume is 936,000. If I go to the daily here, just curious. All right, so it's looking like we're having around maybe like 20,000, maybe 50,000 if you include these. So probably around 20 to 50,000 is the relative volume. So then if you look at this, I mean, we're getting that every minute right now. So thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, man. No problem. Yeah, we're at the half hour. We'll see if anything pops up. I've seen nothing yet. Yeah, we might just be in a cold stretch because we're coming up on Christmas. I don't know. This is definitely not the typical rollover. Yeah, this is very weird. So weird, right? Like, it refused to break through 7. But it's also not like, it's not breaking down either. It's just kind of slightly descending. Like, what is this pattern? It's just holding here. You covered half out of safety. Small loss so far. I mean, it's still up a lot, right? It's up 60. It's really holding up around this 60% mark. I mean, just looking at the daily. The daily, we're up a lot, but it's not unbelievably high. But on the daily, it's definitely going to be noticeable. I mean, has this stock done anything like this? Oh my goof. What happened? Geez, okay, so this stock has a history of just huge dilution. Or probably, I mean, maybe not even dilution, probably just failed clinical trials, right? This is a pharma company. So these are probably just failed trials, actually. Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't touch this regardless of what it does. It's already proven that somebody big is involved with it. Oh no. Looks like SNGX is moving. There's news. Positive clinical trial results from phase 2 trial. But it doesn't say that it passed its endpoints. Yeah, I'm not super sold on this one. Volume is somewhat light, but not crazy light. What does the float look like? Okay, we got 10 million and 2.5 million. Anytime I see a catalyst that says clinical trial results from a trial, and it doesn't immediately say it passed its endpoints, I immediately get worried. It's like, why don't you just say you passed? Come on, why didn't you pass? Like any trial, clinical trial that passes, like it's going to say we passed it. Or met its primary and secondary endpoints kind of thing. Very common terminology. So when I don't see that, I get worried. Which scanner are you using to see stocks like ATHA and SNGX? Using thinkorswim. Can you share your scanner too? Yeah, I could make a video if you guys want showing my scanners for thinkorswim. So I'm not gonna pull it up here right now, but I do have custom scanners that I've built. I'd be down to share it, make a video on it, if that's something you guys want to see. But yeah, mainly I'm just scanning for stocks that are having momentum. And this is something I talk about on the stream a lot. It's that many times you'll notice I don't immediately have the ability to jump on news. And that's because thinkorswim scanners they don't update immediately. So I'm probably going to be several minutes delayed on actually responding. But at the same time, I'm not looking to necessarily trade the first minute of news. So I don't really mind that my method is a little bit slow. And I'm also using a Zendu for just extra confirmation to make sure I don't miss anything. Agree. Your headline also includes and finance of up to 236 million. Yeah. Yeah, yours update each 1 minute with extension. Yeah, like that's just the reality you get. And I can't really complain either because Thinkorswim scanners are free. So anything you get for free, you shouldn't expect the highest quality. But even then, like I feel like this is pretty good quality for free. Right? Having a couple minutes delay on scanners, but getting it for free, I feel like that's really worth it. Although there are times when a stock is popping up on Zendu and it meets all my criteria, like it's the right flow, it's the right volume, blah, 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 blah. But then it doesn't show up on my scanners, and I haven't really been able to reverse engineer why. So it doesn't happen a lot, but maybe like 1 in 10 or 1 in 15 stocks, Zendu will pick it up, but my scanners aren't for some reason, and I haven't figured it out. Yeah, looks like it might have been the right call setting this one out. This headline just doesn't look good. And I guess we're just gonna have to be patient. Wait and see if we get anything, get a better setup. I don't really like, given that this news doesn't look great, I don't really like buying this for a crazy big breakdown. ADHA still holding. Very strange. I mean, just from a spectator perspective, I'm kind of curious how this plays out. Thinkorswim scanners are pretty good if you customize them with a script. Delay but good. Absolutely. I totally agree. A maiden trade in penny stocks. Yeah, I can imagine, man. Thank you. I was like a 50-cent loser. Yeah. Man, you're holding up here with good volume. Like, what do we make of this? There was definitely a seller at 7, but it also looks like there was a buyer at around 650, 640. Just saying too, this volume for a float of only 3-4 million feels kind of unusual. Have I tried Bazinga Pro for News Catalyst? I have not. I actually didn't know they had a pro version. Wait, what's the pro version? I didn't even know they had one. Like, what do you get? I didn't even know this was a thing. I went ahead and wrote it down. I'll go ahead and look into it later. If you have any insights, feel free to share them, but yeah, I'll look into it. I didn't know they had a pro version. Guess you're trying to say something and you just keep spelling it wrong. I don't know. I mean, you can do it. This is gonna be fine. A lot of hidden sellers were at 690. I mean, yeah, so right around, we'll say even 690 to 715, there was a bunch of hidden sellers here. Even over here, right, you kind of hit this wall around just under 7, so probably sellers at 7. We broke above 7, kind of moved back up to this area, and then we pulled back below. Yeah, the price action, it's just too suspicious for me right now. I feel like somebody's pulling strings on it. Can't really understand why the price is acting this way. Is it free pro? Is the pro version free? I would assume not. But that would be crazy if it was. This is a pretty big breakdown too, right? 715 down to 660s. Yeah, so like a 55-cent drop there. Kicking yourself for not taking the trade when it broke above 650. Like, again, to me, this price action just feels a little too weird. It's consolidating up in this range. Doesn't look normal. Anytime I see something that I can't really understand or comprehend, my initial instinct is to just not trade it. Right? I kind of have like this framework for what I think a stock should do. So when I see something like this, it makes me not want to touch it. Now, if we see something like this happen a lot, then I need to start to say, okay, maybe this isn't an anomaly. Maybe this is a shift in how stocks are traded. Then I need to relearn the process and go from there. That's fair. But if you have this weird situation where it does this price action and it's an anomaly, that's kind of different. So, to me, my logic is just don't engage with this. What's wrong with it? For me, just when you break out like this with such high, so keep in mind too, this is a lower float stock. When you're breaking out from, I mean, it gapped up $5 to $5 on the news and then went from 5 straight to 7 in like 3-4 minutes. So 3-4 minutes, you're having decent volume. It's going up $2. And then for the next like half hour, just traded sideways. The volume, we still had volume spikes, but it just went sideways. And that's not super common, especially with the lower float with still continued high volume. This isn't common. My initial thought is there's a big buyer, big seller. Maybe this is getting manipulated. Maybe it's just two competing entities. Maybe there's a big buyer and seller competing. Not sure. My only real gut is that something is going on that I don't understand. Therefore, I do not take a trade. That's kind of the thinking that I'm taking with this. And what I was saying is that if this happens more often, because right now I would really describe the ATHA move as an anomaly because it's holding like this. This isn't normal. But if this became normal, then I need to try and reassess and understand why it's becoming normal. There's a 14-day free trial. You're talking about the initial pop. I'm not sure what you mean. You feel like lately most things just roll over right away, maybe after the second push. I mean, it feels that way. I'm usually not in the hot seat for more than 10-15 minutes. ATHA is really just holding up too long. Yeah, you and me both, man. Right? Even though I was long here, the fact it was just kind of holding, very unusual. Made me skeptical that it was going to break out. And to be fair, I think I was still right to sell. Right? My average was, what, like right around 670-ish or something? I mean, we can look at it real quick. Yeah, my average was 67, $6.73. So my average was, I mean, not super great. Like, if I would have continued holding, I mean, I'd be basically break even right now after holding for an hour. That's way too much exposure time for something that's this high up. Cool market, no trade today. Yeah. Looking cold so far. Did you make 751 with over 100 shares or quarter size? So this was one where it's 50, but what actually happened was I bought in here on this pullback. I think it was this candle. I bought on here at 670s for this hold because I saw that it was a micro pullback. This looked very strong at the time. The volume was incrementing. We had a very clean breakout. I was confident this was going to move up, so I bought here. And when I saw that 7 wasn't holding, but we had this fake breakdown on lower volume. It doesn't show low volume now, but it did. I'm not sure if it was this candle or a different one. But there was a breakdown on lower volume, so I was willing to add. But when I saw that we were still struggling to break through 7, after giving it another minute or two, I just decided to reduce size. Then, after another moment, I ended up cutting it. Actually, probably what I can do, just keep it simple. I'll go ahead and real quick. So you should be able to see my order window here. So these are my executed orders. So you can see 677. I added a few minutes later. Then I ended up taking some off as we pushed through 7, but didn't hold above 7. So after a few more minutes, ended up cutting the trade entirely. It's nice too. I can, anytime I want to like show where I took a trade, I can just pull up that window. It's nice. Exactly where you entered. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, it looks strong here, right? It looked like we were really going to curl and keep going up, but seeing it struggle here. My initial thought too, right? Just looking at this, when I see it struggling for this long, my thought is I'm in when this thing's up 70%. It looks like there's a hidden seller. I got to get out of the way. Am I using offset? Yes. So my order execution is for Lightspeed, not Thinkorswim. So I'm not offsetting for Thinkorswim. But yeah, for Lightspeed, I do use offsets. I actually use the limit orders too, like the manual entries. So I actually do a mixture. Yeah, it did look strong early. I mean, now it's just like what do we even make of this? It's just going sideways. If you asked me what I thought it would do, I'd say it's going up or down. I would not have said sideways. Do you think the market is being more manipulated in the last couple of years because of AI? That's a good question. Yeah, eventually we'll reach a point where we're going to reach a point where the market's becoming way more efficient and there won't be much edge. As for how involved the AI is, not really sure. It's a very, very difficult question. Sorry, someone asked if Bazingo Pro is free. I was replying back to say there's a 14-day free trial. Yeah. Yeah, I assumed it's not free. You usually see the sideways movement when the news is regarding an acquisition. You think they published the wrong news, right? Like it's the news does not seem like. I mean, it is kind of an acquisition, right? They're acquiring the rights, but it's through financing, and they don't really specify. Yeah, this isn't like your normal acquisition. Oh, there's a fire truck. Maybe you heard it, maybe you didn't. You were 5 out of 5 winning trades today. I think you're done. It's crazy. I don't even know how you found 5 trades today, man. That's crazy. But good stuff. How much is Bazinga Pro after the free trial? I have no idea. I mean, to be fair, I just learned there was a free trial, or there was a pro version today. I can't believe we're almost at the top of the hour already. This is such a slow day. Oh, man. Very slow day. Only 1 trade. And it's crazy, too, because there wasn't really any opportunity either. Like, we had... What was the other one? Yeah, SNGX was the only other stock that had news, but the news just kind of sucked. Yeah, and the volume was light on it, too. Sorry for the confusion. I was looking to get in at 7:05 for the break of 650 in the 10-second chart. Looks like you got in a little later at the 670s. So you're looking to get at 7:05.40. So 40 would probably be the latter half of this candle. You were talking about the break of 650. I mean, it makes sense, right? You're that was where I was really this entire candle I was interested. Yeah, 650 makes sense because you're breaking over this level. You're seeing increasing volume too, so like this looks strong. I was really just looking for more confirmation because I to this point in the defense, this candle looked horrid. It was a bit overruled from this one just because the volume was higher. Really, having this second candle of high volume was what gave me the conviction, because at this point, right, I'm now seeing this volume incrementing, and I think I even said in real time. If I didn't, then I'm mistaken. But this candle was invalidated once I saw these 2 green candles in the high volume. Before that, with only the 1, this felt a little less clear to me. So that's why I waited a little longer to get in. But I understand your thinking for getting in at 650. It would be more aggressive, but it did make some sense, in my opinion. I surely hope your thoughts on the market becoming more efficient and there being no edges wrong. I mean, if we're being honest, though, like, once AI gets strong enough to really pick up on these patterns and it recognizes the shifts, a lot of that edge is going to go away. Like, that's just the reality. Now, because the market always has a level of unpredictability, I would say that there is always going to be a place for someone to speculate. And the AI can only make educated guesses. They can't know for sure something is going to do something. So there will always be opportunity, but as far as the amount of opportunity, it is going to greatly diminish. Or rather, that is to say, mathematical edge will go away. The only way you can really outcompete AI is if you know something it doesn't. Also, I see we're at 71 viewers. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're liking the stream, liking me sit here and do nothing because the market's not moving, leave a like, maybe subscribe. I do stream every day, except for yesterday because I had to go do something. But other than yesterday, I've been here every day since I started. So, yeah, just want to go ahead and shout that out while I see we have a lot of viewers. And I appreciate all of you that are here. Hopefully we get something in the next hour. Yeah, you forget about SNGX. Yeah, that one was just not a good one. It says 40 a month, 27 a month if annual. That's kind of high. When did you start learning trading? So I started to trade roughly 7 years ago. So I started with just investing, throwing my money in large cap stocks like Google, Apple, Coca-Cola. I just learned how to invest first, which is probably the safest thing you can do. Then I learned about options, and then everything went down. Definitely like and subscribe, fellas. Thank you for your dedication to this, Mr. Captain. I appreciate it. Thank you. This is going to be just fine. Good morning, sir. Good morning, good morning. All right, we're 1 minute from the top of the hour. Fingers crossed we see something move and it's not just a dead market today. And here we go. Veru have news. Go ahead, check it out. Okay, so we're getting consistent 20 volume candles here. Okay, yeah, so Veru mixed reporting. So Thinkorswim is saying 16 million. Lightspeed is saying 90. This is a death spiral, so maybe a reverse split, maybe dilution. Should be a little bit skeptical of the float here regardless. Spread looks relatively thin. But yeah, big issue right now is the volume is a bit low. Definitely worth keeping on watch, especially in this market where just nothing's moving. But this volume is a bit low right now. Needs more. Yeah, so they basically just got a buy rating from some analyst party or something. Yeah. Now it says buy rating with price target of $25. Okay, dude. This thing's trading at like $2. Right? When you see like analysts coming out and they're saying that they're giving us a buy rating of $25 and this is what the daily looks like, you gotta question how crazy they are. Right? Like, this thing's just kind of went straight down. And this is just a yearly chart. And they're saying that the price target's $25. Like, okay, dude. ATH about to break 7. We are getting some volume picking up here. It's pushing back to 7. Somebody bought the analyst a steak dinner. Yeah. I mean, I don't really look into analysts' liability or reputation, but I do know that there are some analysts that have a history of giving sketchy ratings. So this has happened in the past. So just want to go ahead and like kind of say that that could be something that's going on with Veru. That's just total speculation, of course. But it just seems like that price target's kind of crazy. But yeah, ATHA, I have no faith at all for this one to hold up or to break down. I just don't have a bias at all for it. There we go. But nice little poll. Don't worry, this poll definitely isn't biased at all. Oh, we're neck and neck. It's cold. It's very cold. Oh man, it's very cold. Pulling away. FCEL alert coming with earnings news, but crap volume. Yeah. You're right, they had news at 7:30. There is a 72,000 share buyer at 9. Kind of strange, actually. That's a pretty big buyer. Like you said, though, the volume's kind of the issue. If we assume that that 70,000 share buyer is real, because they were basically at the bid, right? They're still there. Yeah, they're at the bid. And they immediately got hit. Okay, yeah, you can see the volume just popped up here. So order got filled at 9 for 70,000. We keep going down. I'm actually kind of interested in this just because the order got filled this high. We had light volume on this breakdown. If we could get 840s, because I'm looking at the level 2. If it breaks through 50, 831 is the next bid. So I could do like 840s. It might just hold up here though. Yeah, some orders exchanging in the 860s, 870s. Yeah, I don't touch this here, but if this breaks down to like 840s, looks like a good entry on the chart, plus just psychological level, that'd be a good entry. Just punch it on the ass, what can go wrong? Yeah. What kind of value are you looking for as a momentum trader? So I'm looking for anything that's moving, of course. That's for a front side move, right? I want to see high volume if I'm going for a front side move, because that's how the biggest moves will happen. In particular, though, I really want to see the market in general heat up, because I'm afraid to commit to the front side when everything is just rolling over. That's the unfortunate reality. People that are short sellers, they'll tell you, like, right now, even the last like couple months, it feels like anything that's popped, there's a high chance it just rolls over right away. And when it does, when every stock does that, it makes me not want to go long on the front side. If you've noticed, a lot of my trades have been backside moves. And that's not because I like trading the backside. I mean, I do like trading the backside, but I just don't, I have not as high confidence trading the front side. Like the trade I took today was a front side move, but I ended up cutting it. And it was, I think it was the right decision to cut it. But yeah, we're just not really seeing that resolution, that follow through where stocks are holding up well. Yeah. EVTV, which one was that? I mean, it's a $1 stock. $20 million shares. Announces $480 million business combination framework. Kind of feels like a bunch of jumbo. Yeah, I'm not so sure how much I really like this one. Doesn't feel super high quality. Sure, it's not holding, but as gold make only 15 or 20 cents, it will be the best. At least it's working for me. Or gold, you mean? Is to make only 15, 20 cents? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in a hotter market, if you look on this channel back at some of my earlier recaps where I was making like 100 plus a day regularly, I was holding for pretty huge moves. I was going for like 40-cent moves on some of those stocks. Now you don't see me going for 40-cent moves at all unless it's on reduced size. And part of that is just because the stocks aren't holding. We're not seeing 50 to 100% moves on multiple stocks a day anymore. I thought with the squeeze with SMX, we would have seen short sellers become afraid to just aggressively short, but that doesn't appear to be the case. It could be, well, okay, counter argument to that. So maybe short sellers are more afraid to short aggressively, but we're seeing very low volume in general, which means that it's not that shorts are pressing it down, it's that bulls just aren't stepping up. So I would say it's more of a bullish sentiment problem than a short seller problem. Even yesterday, I wasn't here, but I was asking people, and everyone just said that there was just nothing moving yesterday. So looking like a slow week. It's crazy, that person that said to hit the bid, just hit the bid. What could go wrong on FSL? Like, if I had actually hit the bid here, I would have gotten in at around like 880, and it actually would have made me a lot of money. Very funny. Even though I would have been crossing like a 20-cent spread. PCSA holds up like 6 times on at the open yesterday. Yeah, I saw that when I was doing my stock selection for the day for my swing trades. I was looking and I saw that on the scanners it was popping up. Yeah, I saw pre-market it did this weird spike and drop, and then like during the start of the market open it just kind of had this weird squeeze. So yeah, definitely some kind of squeeze went on here because it just ended up rolling over after. But yeah, very interesting on this one. You're totally right on that. Good morning, Lawson. How are you doing today? Yeah, I think PCSA was the only stock that actually moved yesterday, as far as I could tell. It's an interesting point about it not being a short problem as much as a bullish sentiment problem. Interesting. Well, I mean, that's just the logical conclusion, right? Because shorts, I mean, there was no doubt shorts were aggressively selling because stocks were literally popping up and then they were selling off and going red on the day, regardless of the news. So that was a signal to me that shorts were aggressively attacking. But we're not really seeing stocks really go negative very much lately. It's just that they're rolling over. And considering the volume's light, I don't think it's logical to conclude that shorts are just hammering everything down right now. Doing well. How about you? Hope everyone's doing well. Just surviving. I mean, for me, I got one trade today. Really, really slow day. It's been god awfully slow. Just trying to stay awake, really. With the way market's being right now. But yeah, only one trade, very small winner. But I'm okay with it. Like, I'm just here, trying to have a good time, trying to do well. If I can make a little money on the side, have a good time, I'm okay with that. Yeah, ATHA just kind of rolling sideways here. EVTV. You guys are calling out EVTV again. Is it really just moving again? Or... Okay, well, it is picking up. Yeah, we're getting good volume inflow. ATHA short volume ratio 41.31%. Well, that's just short volume though, right? And as long as that's lower than inflow, that's not super terrible. I got a good green trade on EVTV just now. Good stuff, good stuff. Not trading DJT. No, float's just a bit too high for me on that one. So ET, let me check the thinkorswim real quick. Yeah, so we got 4 million and 20 million for shares outstanding reporting. Yeah, you don't like it either, but it's moving. I get that. And the volume's high too. What was the news? Yeah, the news kind of just seems like a bunch of jumbo words to me. Like, yeah, it doesn't seem like a super crazy catalyst to me. Definitely a short market. I don't short. It's hitting a wall at 114. Yeah, the problem is because the float's so high, it's really hard to read the level too. Like it's super, super thick, right? Like 114, what is that? A 170,000 share sell wall? It's really hard to judge that. And that might sound like a lot, by the way, but considering this is getting 1 million volume per minute on Sun Minutes, that isn't actually like decisive. I mean, we're seeing like a pretty big push down in volume though. Some small walls through 121. Float is only 3 million. I could believe it. Well, actually, you say it's only 3 million, but we're literally seeing 200,000 share orders. I would maybe push back on the narrative that it's only 3 million. I believe you that whatever source you're looking at is saying float is 3 million. I'm not disputing that the source is saying that. I'm just saying what I see on the level 2 doesn't match that. It makes me feel like that source might be out of date. I could be totally wrong, but that's just my hunch. Right, if there's only 3 million shares float, you wouldn't really expect to see. Weeble says 3 as well. You're with me? Yeah. Yeah, they don't always update in real time. Yeah, Weeble's your broker. Float and outstanding shares is 4.45 million, 4.83 million. From Dilution Tracker. Yeah, because Lightspeed is saying 19.9 million outstanding, and thinkorswim is saying 4.8 million outstanding. thinkorswim tends to be a little bit more up to date than Lightspeed, so I would be inclined to lean towards the 4 million figure. Oof, yeah, this is a nasty flush too. And the problem is too, if you've watched my video on the spread, this really kind of explains well why it's so difficult for me to buy this kind of stock. Basically, if I'm going to buy, I have to have high confidence I'm going to be right. Because I'm basically taking like a 1% loss just to trade it. So having that kind of negative EV means I've really got to be sure that the price is going to move. Weeble says 4.83 million outstanding. And yeah, that's what thinkorswim says as well. Yeah, I'll be honest. I just don't really trust this one. I don't have high conviction in it. I mean, it moved. It has good volume. I'm not disputing those things. Well, it's a penny stock, so a few cent winner is a good one. Well, if you have a free... So, wait, Lawson, you used Weeble, right? I think you said Weeble. Where did I see that? I thought... Yeah, Weeble is your broker. Yeah, so you're using a free broker. So you can kind of afford to trade these cheaper stocks. Since I'm using Lightspeed, and I get charged commissions per trade, I really don't have the leeway to take a penny stock trade, right? I'm fighting against commissions and the spread, so... So yeah. This is this type of stock I would really only want to trade if I have super high conviction. Or I would be experimenting, right? So we've had it in the past where penny stocks are moving a lot, sub $1 stocks are moving a lot. So I was willing to give more exposure in that instance because they were moving more. But just in a neutral market, I tend not to engage with them at this price level. You tried pennies on Ocean 1 because I'm routinely stupid. Oh god, no. Why do I use Lightspeed? Are you in a larger account? Oh, this is for a challenge. I'm mostly doing this to see how well I can use a brokerage with a commission for this kind of stuff. So I've seen a lot of people that talk very highly of Lightspeed, so I wanted to use it. Like you had Ross Cameron and a couple others. So I was doing this more of just like a kind of broad thing that I can put out for a track record. Also just to try out their hotkeys and see how hotkeys affect things. And I'll be honest. So before this, I was using Thinkorswim. Now actually, Thinkorswim's starting to have some other problems to where they're just not letting you execute orders on low float stocks. But I'm not really, I'll be honest, like I'm going to stick with this for now, but I'm not really liking Lightspeed for what I'm doing. When I hit the 50-day mark, I'm going to make an update report. And you're going to see that my commissions are really, really eating into the profits for me here. Even though I'm technically profitable, after commissions, not really. So I might need to switch brokers here. I could try Webull. Just because I would go back to Thinkorswim because they're a great platform, or they were. But just now that orders are not getting executed consistently, like they're getting rejected depending on the stock. Yeah. So are you saying you're a Ross plant? Believe me, I am not a Ross advocate. So I assure you I am not a Ross plant. I have some controversial opinions of Ross. Yeah, Lightspeed is great, especially during halts. I've heard you can enter during a halt. No, you cannot enter during a halt. That is not a thing. When a stock is halted, no one can buy or sell. Lightspeed is good for big accounts, but for small accounts, yeah, commissions will eat your profits. Yeah, for sure. Not only commissions, but or not only like small trades, but also just cold markets. When the market is cold and you're not able to get that big range you're looking for, then yeah, taking small winners is actually not good. Right? If you like, let's say normally you make $50 on a trade because this, like you capture 50 cents. If you get $50 on a trade and you're paying like a dollar commission, right? That's 2% commission. But let's say it's a cold market and you can only get 10 cents. So you get your 10 cents, so you're still taking the risk of the market, but now you're paying a dollar commission. You're paying 10% commission, right? It's 5 times higher commission in a cold market than a hot market. You have Webull for a small account and Lightspeed for IRA and large cash account. Yeah, I totally understand. If it's unfortunate timing for this challenge too, and I said this before, but realistically, right after I started this challenge is whenever the market went cold. So I'm not really getting. I'm basically getting put in the worst possible situation. I'm using a commission broker in a cold market, so with a small count. So really, I'm playing a very uphill battle here. I haven't done the hard calculations yet since I started it, but I believe I'm roughly break even with profits. I think I'm slightly green over the last several months, but with commissions, I think I'm red. Right? My gross result is that I'm profitable. My net profit is negative. I think. I don't hold me to that. Like I said, once I hit day 50, I'm gonna go ahead and tally everything and actually figure it out. But my intuition is that I'm red right now. So we will see when I check on that. ATHA, good dip. I mean, I don't trust ATHA at all, I'm being honest. Right? I mean, you say good dip, like this isn't even a dip. This is just like a little drop in the bucket. I get what you're saying though. What are you paying in monthly fees for Lightspeed? So they have a platform fee. It's basically fully negated because with commissions, any commissions you take offset the platform fee. I'm making enough of commissions, or at least I was last month. This month I've traded less, so maybe not as much. But it's like $110 or something for the platform fee. But every commission you do is put towards that platform fee. So if you make like $110 commissions, you don't pay anything. I don't remember exactly what the platform fee is. It might be like 130 actually, but there's that. Then there's also the data fees, right? So you're paying for level 2 data. I think that's the only data feed I'm paying for, right? Because I'm getting scans and charts from Thinkorswim. So I think it's just the data fee above that. Yeah, so realistically, I'm only paying like maybe 20 bucks, 30 bucks a month for fees. Because the commissions are offsetting the broker cost. You think you're right, 130? I think it's 130. I haven't looked at it in a while, but I think it's 130. Webull, I think, is as good as it gets in terms of commission brokers. I would have said Thinkorswim, but because Thinkorswim is showing that they're trying to dissociate from day traders, I think you're right. I think Webull might be the new best free commission broker. I think. Very true. I tried Thinkorswim and couldn't even trade in it. The UI was so bad. Yeah. Well, you can work around the UI. Like there's ways to work around it. You've got the active trader. The active trader is really good. It's probably my favorite part of Thinkorswim. How much is the level 2 fee on Thinkorswim or Lightspeed? Like I said, that's basically the only fee I'm paying, and I think that data is 20 or 30 a month. EVTV dilution going on. I mean, it could just be the backside, right? Right. I mean, this just could be the top of the move. You can only use Interactive Broker in my country. I'm so sorry. I've tried Interactive Broker. It's so bad. It is so bad. I would say it's the second worst broker. The worst broker being Fidelity. Fidelity's execution is just unbelievably slow. Oh, they charge for level 2 on Lightspeed? Or not Lightspeed, on Webull? I didn't know that. Still, $10.99, that's not terrible. Right, I mean, it's better than Lightspeed. But at the same time, Lightspeed's level 2 data is... Well, I don't want to really judge too hard, because I haven't looked at Webull's level 2. So, I will just say that Lightspeed's level 2 is exceptionally good. Like, what are you doing here? Liked and subscribed. Keep going, man. I appreciate it, Bobby. Thank you. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, I would appreciate a subscribe, a like. I'm trying to grow the channel. You can see I started this channel not too long ago, like maybe 2 or 3 months ago. I'm genuinely just so happy that you guys are finding value, that you guys are sticking around, right? Like we're at like 75 viewers. I would have never imagined that I'd already be averaging 75 viewers concurrently. That's insane. You guys are all awesome. Yeah, nothing at 8:30. But I don't know. Honestly, and I'll be honest here. So, when I do my recap on day 50, if it's looking like the commissions are eating into my profits much more than I would like, I may honestly terminate the Lightspeed challenge early. Just because, I mean, if the market is going to be this slow and I'm churning too much in commissions, it's not worth it to keep doing this. Right? I wanted to go 100 days, but if the data says that I'm losing too much to commission, it might just be logical to switch off of this. Right? I was profitable for 2 years with Thinkorswim, but I'm just going to be honest. I'm only slightly profitable. Like I have a very marginal edge. So if I'm having these commissions in a cold market eating into me, it might not be worth me continuing to trade on Lightspeed. You just don't have any friends. Oh no, don't say that. You're wondering. Yeah. I find the level 2 on Weeble is pretty good. The order flow is good enough for me to read. Yeah, I have very little experience with Weeble, so I do have the broker still, but I haven't used it. Yeah, it's free to hit the like button. Exactly. You actually get to hit the like button this morning. Yeah. Yeah, but what Lightspeed calls level 2 is national best bid offer on Weeble. Well, no. I mean, it's genuinely just what's it called? I mean, is that actually what it's called? National best bid offer? Come to Weeble Cap. I might. I genuinely might. Like I said, I'm gonna go to day 50. That's the current plan. I'll assess it. I'll make a very thorough breakdown of my metrics on day 50, and I'll make a decision then. But I don't want to like say what I'm doing or like, you know, making a hard claim when I'm not sure. Okay, WKSP. Hold on, let me lock in a little bit. Sorry, I know we've been talking, but I want to focus here because we might actually have something. Okay, good volume on this push. We do have a topping tail on it though. What do we got for news? We do have news. Take a stab at that. Just half size. Feels like a pretty big rejection. What a terrible flush. $3 down to 230s. see if we get a push up to 50s here. I'm going to cut it here. Very small winner. Unfortunately, I didn't time the bottom very well. So my entry was at 237 and this went as low as 227. So that's part of why I had to cut it earlier. Not the best entry. All right, we might get another opportunity here. This volume was light on this breakdown. Can we see it break down further? Yeah, I'll take half size again. That's a light breakdown. I am back in. Nice, I timed the bottom much better on that one. I do have a sell order out in the 40s. We'll see if we get to 40s or not. Kind of just holding here. Some sell orders going through on the bid. Decent amount. No, I'm getting out here. Something feels wrong. There's a lot of pressure on the bid here. Very small winner on that second attempt. Yeah, at this point, seeing it struggle here after having 3 bounces off of this level. I don't know why this drops so hard, but I think continuing to hold here could be introducing me to a flush. I'll log the trades in a moment. I just want to see if this breaks down here, if there's an opportunity for me to get it. Yeah, if it bounces here and I sold at the bottom of this curl, then it is what it is. It was still a profitable trade, even though I sold at the bottom, because I bought this here for this breakdown, so not even a losing trade. But realistically, seeing this completely just pull back, and then just, I'm looking at the level 2 getting hammered. And seeing this floor could have gotten ripped, right? And it still could rip. $81 viewers. I think this is the highest view count we've had, like concurrent viewers. That's insane. And on a day like this where the market's just dead, I mean, I'm just so surprised. All right, so this looks like it's kind of churning now. So while we wait for the breakdown, I'll go ahead and log these 2 trades. All right. Yeah, that first one, Really good decision for me to sell. Or no, I sold it. Yeah, 48. Six. So it did end up bouncing. Unfortunate, because, well, I mean, I had my sell order for 243, so it actually still wouldn't have gotten hit even on this bounce. You're on the way up. Good to see. I mean, yeah, it's a small green day. Technically, I'm 3 for 3, although it really feels like that third trade was basically a scratch trade. Yeah, now this volume's too light to where I can't really make an accurate read of what it's going to do now. EVTV completely rolled over. Like, look at this. It's a reverse V shape. Yeah. But yeah, we're coming up on the top of the hour here. And unfortunately, it's just not a lot moving. Right? I mean, we're just seeing... This is like a nasty rejection, too. $3 down to 220s. Hmm. Yeah, it looks like there could be a hidden buyer 230. I agree. Marcel, I was thinking that as well. The only issue is even if there was a hidden buyer, I saw was getting hammered on the level 2. And this was the third time we were testing 230. So in my mind, if the buyer did fail, and for whatever reason the selling was justified, then this could have actually dropped to like $2. I could totally see it. So yeah, like seeing it struggle here, I had to cut it. There was too much danger of it flushing. Right, buying this first breakdown, right? This was a low volume break. And seeing it hold here again, that was enough of a signal for me to get in. Totally think it was the right decision. Yeah, but I mean, I was aiming for 10 cents, 15 cents of profit. I couldn't have really sold here. So I think that trade was just doomed to fail. Yeah, really small returns today. Yeah, so pressuring 230 again. Looking at the daily, we do have support at 2. So if this broke and went and broke the $2 level from here, I think that would be a buy for me. I don't know how likely that is, though. And it's got to be on low volume, too. Not super likely, but there's a small chance. I'll take a small green day over a red day for me. No, absolutely, of course. All right, so 230 does look like it broke, but is it real? Okay. 210, 211. Not getting in here. Need to be patient. Needs to go lower. This market sucks for a long trader. Yeah. MSS is moving, but it's a penny stock, so not interested. If you guys want to mess with that, though, yeah, MSS just dancing, yeah. SPAI, go ahead and take a look at that. I mean, what am I looking at here? You've got some volume here, and it's kind of curling. Volume's just too light, though. It's also not moving super fast. Yeah. So, hindsight's 50-50, but yeah, totally the right decision for me to cut the trade here. My worry was we were going to see a rug pull, this rug pull. It didn't end up happening here like I thought it would. We had one more curl before the roll. But I was correct with the idea. This is why I got out, because I was afraid of something like this. Yeah, just it's slow die. Let's watch the pretty MSS move up and down a couple times. But yeah, for those of you that are new, I did just put out a video. I'm very proud of it. Worked on it for like 8 or 9 hours. It's a video going over why 95% of day traders lose money. If you're struggling with profitability, I would at least watch it just to kind of reinforce, maybe not even just reinforce, but also just kind of let you understand why most people don't make money, if you are wondering why, because it's something that I feel is very important that nobody really is talking about. Like, everyone always talks about the psychology, which is important. I'm not saying it's not, right? You got to follow your rules. But if you don't have a strategy that works, you have no business trading with money. I get this a lot from people. I've had multiple comments that are like, well, if you're profitable, why don't you just trade more? Why don't you just trade with larger size? And it's a numbers game. So even if you have a 60% chance to win a coin flip, you're going to lose 40% of the time. So by reducing your exposure in a cold market, you're alleviating, you're kind of pulling your foot off the gas when you're least profitable. And then you can put your foot on the gas when you're most profitable in a hot market. But yeah, I went ahead and made some simulations with some bots. So if that's something you're interested in seeing, then you can check that out on the channel. Some good points, mathematical and not emotional. Yeah, it is an emotional game to some level. I'm not saying it's not, because at the end of the day, my strategy is not a foolproof, infallible strategy, because there is emotion to it. I am adapting my strategy. I am adapting the trade in real time. A truly mathematical strategy won't have in real-time adaptation. It is simply you buy here, you sell for profit here, you sell for a loss here. And the thing is new information can come in, and you have to make that judgment call sometimes in real time. Like even with this, I was tempted to want to chase this, of course, because it was moving with high volume, but this didn't meet a lot of the criteria. So for me, I just had to set this one out. And it looks, I mean, it's insane to me how much this has rolled over, right? This has dropped This has probably dropped like 40% from the high. It's insane. You adapt based on what, for instance? So I'll go ahead and show an example. We'll go back to WKSP. So this was one where it took 2 trades. The first one was for this bounce to here, hit my target. I did lower it by a couple cents, but I was looking for 48. I couldn't get 48, so I took 46. So good trade there. And the second time I was buying here, I was looking for the actual bounce, and I was looking for us to try and make a one minute high so that we could try and curl back. But seeing it test here for a third time, normally I would just have a stop just under 30. But luckily, because support was holding at 30, I was able to make the decision at that moment that level 2 was getting pressured. We're having a triple bottom here. We're having this kind of wedge pattern down. It looked like we were going to break here, right? You can see this like inverse wedge, right? This is a bear, what is it, a bear pennant? So we have like a bear pennant forming here. And in my mind, there was too many red flags that my trade was becoming invalidated in real time. I couldn't have predicted this when I bought here. I mean, you can try to predict what the next candles will be, but there's so many different ways that it can resolve. It's hard to know for sure. So seeing it resolve this way and seeing that I was still able to get out for 2 cents of profit, in my mind, the pattern was invalidated. So I was just able to take the 2 cents and walk there. So yes, patterns adapting in real time means anytime you're adapting in real time to something, it is an emotional play. Don't misunderstand that. And that is where the psychology comes in. But that emotional play is only valid if your initial premise was valid, right? If you got in and you didn't have an edge to begin with, it doesn't matter how good you manage that trade. It is essentially gambling. MSS picking up steam. Yeah, I'm not interested in it, but we can watch it. Yeah, it's too cheap for me. But the adaptation could just be considered part of the system. I get what you're saying. I do. But the problem is you. Let me give an argument for what you're saying, and I'll give an argument against it. So we'll go back to this one. I bought here. The idea was to curl back up, try to make a 1 minute high. If in my mind, I looked at the bull case and say, okay, if I can pre-plan what I think will happen, and then I make a decision based off of that, then that would be more systematic than emotional. So we'll just say, just for example, let's say if the price goes back here, makes a 1 minute high, and I see huge volume and I see a big buyer, I will add. And if I say that when I buy here, and then we see all those factors happen, and then I add, because I declared it before it happened, that would be systematic. If I am adapting to something happening in real time without first preempting it, pre-planning it, that is emotional. So, for example, when I sold here, that would be emotional because I didn't pre-plan to sell. I planned to sell if this broke below 30, but it hadn't broken yet. But I saw enough red flags to where I said, okay, my stop isn't hit yet, my trade isn't invalidated, but the circumstances have changed and I do not believe it is favorable to stay in now, despite my initial entry based off of the circumstances. All right, so initial circumstances good, got in. My exit criteria or my stop loss was not hit, but the circumstances changed and became negative. So I got out. An emotional decision, but also I think a correct one. So you can have systematic components if you are able to pre-plan it before the action happens. Like if I had pre-said even this, if I said, if this goes back to 30, I see heavy selling on the level 2, and we hit this triple bottom, I sell. If I had pre-planned it, it would have been systematic. Because I didn't pre-plan it, and I did it based off of intuition, that is emotional. Would that be a fair judgment call? Would you agree with that? It is the cumulative flags and experience that showed that it would probably dump. Kind of like the definition of porn. What? I can't describe it, but I know it when I see it. Oh, okay. Okay, YCBD. Had some volume here. It looks like just a dump, though. False read on my scanners. Yeah, we're at the top of the hour. It's been a slow day, guys. It's been a slow day. I would agree within the same sense that maybe you did not have enough info to walk away. No trades for you yet. Go ahead and throw another pull here, just out of curiosity. Hate to say it, but this is going to be a red day morning for you. Yeah. But I think Momo trading is based on adaptation since you're a reading level, even after taking a trade. Yeah, and I'm not saying that emotional trading is bad because you're still trying to make an informed decision. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying that if you get so impulsive that you become irrational, right? You get people that will double down on losses, who refuse to sell, who do FOMO chasing. Once you're starting to become emotional and illogical, that's when it becomes a problem. Yeah, we're at the top of the hour. Same protocol as usual. I will stick around for 5 minutes. If we see anything that comes up at the 9 o'clock, I will stay on and take a look at it. Otherwise, I'm out of here. Those are hard habits to shed, I learned. I think we all struggle with them. I feel like I'm much better with it now. I don't really do it anymore. But back when I first started day trading, I used to habitually average down. Yeah, that was the biggest habit for me to kick. Thank you for your insights. No problem. I love talking about this stuff. I think psychology is an amazing thing. Even though, like, I'm very critical that I don't think it's the main component, right? I think it's more about expected value and finding your edge. But I do think that psychology is a very, very powerful secondary role. Do you review your trades recordings? I mean, I do my daily recaps, but I usually just cover market sentiment and the general gist of it, like a very, very broad overview. I don't really break down trades. If that's something you guys are interested in seeing, maybe I could go into more detail in breaking down my trades. But to me, I don't know. I'm just not sure how much people would want to see that because my style is very unique. Pavs. Okay, I'll check it out here. Oh, whoa. What the? Is this a reverse split? It's got to be a reverse split. 1 for 100 reverse split. Okay, and we were trading at 2 or 3 cents. So we should be between $2 and $3. We are. Okay, so 1 for 100. What is the float on this? If this just like reverse split for 100. Okay, it looks like 600,000. Okay, 1 million. Yeah, so it's a super low float now. Screw it, time to YOLO spy puts. Yeah, there you go. JK, yeah. I doubled down a few weeks ago and blew up your... I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's a very, very common thing. I can say that I've never really blown up an account, so I am proud of that at least. But I've had some pretty big losses. I think my biggest loss was Chinese stock, where I ended up averaging down into it on margin. And took a pretty big loss on it. Stock ended up crashing hard. You're better now, mostly green days. Well, that's good. It's awesome to see that. Keep it up. And we're not infallible too, right? We're all human. I recognize that there are times where I may make decisions that are incorrect, and it is important to not be hard on yourself too. In Webull, it says 67K float. Yeah, it's a bit hard to judge, really, right? Thinkorswim is saying 1 million. Outstanding, 1.2 million shares outstanding. The issue is there's no news on this, right? This is just a reverse split. So the fact that this went from 2 all the way to 4, kind of crazy. Doubling down and FOMO was your biggest hindrance. Although psychologically it isn't the biggest component in trading, the market will reflect your hidden flaws. Well, I look at it more like this. If you're using something that doesn't have an edge, and then you're emotionally trading on top of that, you're just amplifying the bad returns, right? You're going to have bad returns anyway. But if you're being emotional about it and doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff, then you're just amplifying the variance. Do I ever get in on the initial spike on news? No, that's suicide. I never do that. No. No, I don't really like jumping on the bandwagon first thing. I'll watch PAVs for a few more minutes just because it could set up to do something here, right? It has been ranging a bit, but it looks like it might be done. But yeah, I don't see anything else, so if PAVs doesn't move in the next couple minutes, I'm probably just going to call it. So we've had descending volume this whole time. Does seem to be a lot of contention around the 225 area. Webull has it blocked. So even Webull blocks stocks, huh? Yeah, there's high volume here. It could bounce here, but it's not quite meeting my setup criteria, so I I think I should probably avoid touching it. The only safe approach would be if we see another pullback to like 2. That'd be a much safer entry. Right, this could be the bounce point, or this could be the consolidation before the next leg down. Isn't blocked, you just checked. Did you try Interactive Broker desktop application? So I tried the desktop application for Interactive Broker. And yeah, I did not like it. I actually think it is the second worst broker I've used. Very clunky. ATHA trying again. Yeah, I mean ATHA is just kind of holding. Like you are right, it is pushing the highs again. But it's literally been just going sideways for like 2 hours. Could you please do a quick broker comparison video on brokers based on your experience? I mean, I could. Is that something you guys would want to see? I mean, I know you wanted to see it. Does anyone else, would that be something others would be interested in? Me doing a broker comparison? Just for context, the brokers I've used Robinhood, of course. Actually, Robinhood probably is the worst broker of them all. I've used M1. I've used Webull slightly. I've used Thinkorswim a lot. That was my main broker for years. I've used Lightspeed, Fidelity, Interactive Broker. So those are the main 7 I've used. Do you think that PDT rule, if it changes, will help or hurt the market? Oh, absolutely, it'll help it. Yeah, the more the people can participate, the more it will help. Absolutely. Do you think newer retailers will get hurt by it? Do I think new retail would get hurt? I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think they will. Right, the whole point of PDT is to protect people from blowing up their account. By having the PDT rule, it forces people to basically have to do a hard commitment if they want to trade. It stops people from just kind of like getting in, gambling away their money, and then quitting. I think it'll be good for more pumps. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Lawson. The experienced traders will benefit from it, right? The Ross Camerons of the world will benefit from it, but the newer traders will suffer because they will have way too much exposure, and the odds of them blowing up their account is much higher. I was expecting ATHA to move, but of course it happens when I have to go to the office. Yeah, I mean, I'm not interested in this just because of how much this has gone sideways. This will be definitely something to look at Friday because I'm very curious to see how it'll play out. But, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it here. I looked at LAHI. I didn't really want to engage with that one. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. It's been an okay day. I mean, I'm green on the day. 3 trades. I should be happy I'm green. But yeah, it's just been a slow day. Not really much else to say. But yeah, one last thing. If you guys enjoyed the stream, if you're new here, maybe subscribe. I would appreciate it. I do stream every day. And I will go ahead and be back tomorrow.